The stuff they teach at Hibariko is on a similar level to my old school, so I follow along smoothly without having to panic. I told myself that I had no choice but to fail if I couldn't follow along. That was another one of my worries, but that's another concern out the window. Feeling relieved, I take a glance at Asuho absent-mindedly. It seems that I'm seated beside Asuho because she's the class rep. The teacher was being considerate to a new student, I presume. She hasn't changed at all. She would diligently answer all the difficult questions in class. A lot of those answers would be wrong, but the teacher doesn't get particularly angry because of the earnest effort. After looking at the graffiti on her textbook, you'd wonder if she were taking her lesson seriously, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It's probably because she isn't able to concentrate. She nods off again. As her neighbor, I wake her up if she falls asleep. Besides, Asuho always listens to others' favors during break, not once looking annoyed. During the break just then, she explained to me the layout of this school.
このひばり校は1階に1年生のクラス、2階に特別教室、3階に私たち2年生のクラスが並んでるんだよ。で、最上階の4階は3年生のクラス、さらにその上は屋上になってて、そこは基本的に一般生徒は立ち入り禁止になってるの。
What? We can't eat our bentos on the rooftop? That's a shame. My old school's rooftop was freely accessible to anyone. I often had lunch there, but that doesn't seem to be an option here.
その代わり、ひばり校は中庭が開放されてるんだよ。天気がいい日だと、昼休みは生徒で溢れ返ってるんだ。お弁当持ってきてる生徒だけじゃなくて、学食のメニューを中庭に運んで食べる生徒も多いの。
The system they have here is to pay for the food expenses and school fees up front. I thought there wouldn't be many students who would bring their own lunches, but the courtyard does sound packed.
ようちゃんがいた都会に比べたら、ひばりが崎の空気は美味しいと思うし、食事中でも建物の中にこもってる手なんてないよ。
My old school was very small and didn't have a courtyard, so I'm really excited.
でもまあ、私は学食で食べる方が多いんだけどね。中庭だとスカート汚れちゃうからね。
She stuck her tongue out playfully. Like this, Asuho was the mood maker, well liked by everyone. My impression of her hasn't changed, whether now or back then. She nods off again. The classes in the morning finish. I feel depressed on my first lunch break since transferring. As a person who hasn't made any close friends yet, I wander around looking for the cafeteria. I'm somewhat grateful that I paid for the food already when handling the school fees, now that my wallet is empty thanks to the display cabinets. However, the problem lies with breakfast and dinner. While I'm living off on Chino at the moment, I want to manage Chinamis and my own shares sooner or later.
ねえ、ようちゃん。
I was sure she'd be heading to the cafeteria with her classmates by now, but she calls out to me as if she has something important to say.
お昼は学食だよね。
Yeah! Asuho leans forward eagerly. I get taken aback by her face closing in. She's always awfully close when I'm talking with her. She isn't always like that, but her movements are sudden. Granted, I'm not the only one she does this to.
私もお昼は大抵学食って言っても、この学校の生徒はほとんど学食だと思うんだけど。
Well, we've paid for the food already, so bringing lunch would be wasting money.
一応食費払うのは希望制みたいなんだけどね。でもいつの間にか払うのが普通になっちゃったんだって。
Having your parents pack your lunch is a hassle, and buying it costs money. Isn't the school taking advantage of that? That might be the case, as Asuho laughs in agreement. Ah, let's go. We don't buy our meal tickets from the ticket machine, do we?
うん、そうだよ。お昼になるとカウンターのトレーにもう料理が載ってるんだ。ちゃんとメニュー別にね。
Everyone grabs what they like. I see, so if they don't enforce the system, there'll be people scabbing food.
そんな心配があるんなら、最初からお金入れる券売機にすればいいのにね。
The cafeteria isn't very large, is it?
全員入りきれないから中庭で食べる生徒も多いくらいだし。
The current system is being used because if they had a tick machine in this small cafeteria, the place would be packed since there'll be a queue. If you prepare the food beforehand, it will result in some leftovers. Although if there's a lot of people, they can determine the cost of the ingredients as such. The price difference between small and large orders isn't big in restaurants, meaning the prices are based on the labor costs rather than the extra ingredients.
ようちゃん、やっぱりようちゃんだね。
What's that supposed to mean?
昔と同じで頭でっかちのようちゃんだった。
I feel shocked to hear that for some reason.
学食の場所知らないよね。
Nope, I was going to look for it just now.
私が案内してあげるよ。
She stands up while saying that.
小雨ちゃん、今日はようちゃんも一緒でいいよね。構いませんよ。お昼を一緒して親睦を深めた後に行う麻生さんの作戦も黙認しておきますね。
What strategy?
皆星、お前まさか。
そうじゃないってば。私はようちゃんと過去の思い出を語り合いたいから誘っただけだもん。
じゃあ俺が一緒でも問題ないよな。露骨に嫌そうな顔すんなよ。
だってアスカ君、私のこと邪魔しそうだし。
いいカモが向こうから飛び込んできたんだ。話し飼いにしておくのはもったいないだろうが。
やっぱり邪魔するんだ。ようちゃん捕らえるのは私だからね。
弱い犬ほどよく吠えるんだよ。それはカモ狩りの犬も同じってことだ。
I lost two guys a while ago.
焦らなくてもカモさんにもいずれ理解できますよ。
By the time I realize, I'll be a roasted duck already. At any rate, it seems that I've managed to avoid having lunch by myself. Hibariko's cafeteria is a lot smaller compared to my old school, not to mention there aren't many seats. That being said, the reason it doesn't seem all that crowded is because the counter with all the food is large, and they allow students to bring food outside the cafeteria.
一応先に席取っておいた方がいいかな。私、座って待っていますね。了解。メニューはいつもの？はい、サンドイッチセットで。ようちゃんも座って待ってていいよ。何がいい？
Yeah,
メニューは和洋中何でもござれだ。嫌いなものは？
anything's fine apart from mayonnaise.
ようちゃん、
Why is that?
マヨネーズ嫌いなんだ。
Because of family circumstances, I guess.
適当でいいなら運びやすい丼物にするけど。
Nah, I'll get it myself.
小ヶ坂さんはある意味ゲストなんですから、席に座ってのんびり構えていて結構ですよ。
In other words, I'm getting fattened up for the feast?
小雨ちゃん一人で4人分も席取ってると他の生徒に睨まれちゃうし。
小ヶ坂、メニューは？
I'll have a chicken and egg rice bowl then.
なじゃ。
小ヶ坂さん、私たちはお茶を持ってきましょう。席取りをするときはその席にお茶を置いておくのがこの学食のルールなんですよ。
We head to the counter, bring back 4 cups of tea and sit down after putting them on the table.
なんだか慣れてらっしゃいますね。
Kusama unexpectedly starts talking while I sip my tea. What do you mean?
ひばり校の生徒としてひばりヶ崎の住民としてもう馴染んでいるという意味です。
It's hard to say.
はい、都会からの転入生と聞いていたので、私たちはどこか雰囲気が違うんじゃないかと思っていたんです。ひばりヶ崎は小ヶ坂さんの住んでいた町に比べるとずっと田舎でしょ。
True, but I don't mean it in a bad way.
いいんですよ。住民の皆さんだって思っていることなんですから。
Kusama places her hands on her cheeks and smiles wryly.
この町は観光客の方々は物珍しがって喜ぶのでしょうけど、小ヶ坂さんのように引っ越してきた方には不便な町だと思いますから。
Inconvenient? Why is that? Hibarigasaki has few buses and trains, department stores and 100 yen shops are nowhere to be found, and there aren't many recreational facilities such as karaoke and game centers.
だから私たちとはなかなか打ち解けてくれないんじゃないかと心配だったんです。
So, you mean like how a transfer student would dislike the town? She nods slightly. If that's the case, you don't have to worry.
小ヶ坂さんはもともとひばりヶ崎出身ですものね。
Not only that, but I really like this place. Kusame seems surprised. Yeah, that's right. That's something I want to ask about too. I changed the subject before she asks why I like this town. There was a fight at the school gates, right? Asuho and...
姉さんですね。名前は久垣小桃。私の双子の姉なんです。
No wonder they looked so alike. So, what happened afterwards?
一時的な停戦には成功しましたよ。
Does that mean they're going to fight again?
アスホさんと姉さんは会うたびに何かといがみ合いますから、同じクラスじゃなくてホッとしているんです。
Why do they fight like that?
主にテンクルが原因ですね。
Tenkuru?
おそらく食事中にその謎は解けますよ。お待たせ。こちらサンドイッチセットと親子丼になります。
Asuho comes back holding a tray like a maid, not unlike the other day.
それじゃ冷めないうちに食べちまうか。
The four of us start eating, with Asuho sitting across Kosame and Asuka sitting in front of me.
食べ終わったらどっちがこの無垢なカモを生け取るか正々堂々と勝負。
What are they talking about?
ようちゃん、天体観測に興味ない？
お前早えよ。
汚い。ご飯粒飛ばさないで。
No, I think both of them want to recruit him for their respective clubs.
抜け駆けすんな。まずは順序ってもんがあるだろ
う。順序も何もそっちが勝手についてきただけじゃない。
転入生にはどの部活にも平等に権利があるだろうが。
No.
私たちテンクルはそんなこと言ってられない状況なんだよ。
Oh, don't cry.
勧誘となると今度はアスオさんとアスカさんがいがみ合うことになるんですね。
Kosame eats her sandwiches in a carefree manner whilst the two argue in the background.
なあ小笠か、お前趣味は？
Asuka suddenly pats me on the shoulder as if we are best friends.
特技はなんだ？よく読む雑誌は？よく聞く音楽は？好きなテレビ番組は？ 徹夜は平気か？嫁は聞く方か？フーファイター事件をどう思う？アブダクションされたことは？
Where do I start answering from?
その質問嵐のどこが順序を守ってるんだよ。
生誕137億年と呼ばれるこの広大な宇宙には地球人以外の知的生命体が息づいているとは思わないか？
137億年がなんだよ。こっちは137億光年の先にある星座のロマンに思いを馳せられるんだよ。
Apparently, there won't be any constellations left by then.
星座なんか所詮人が作った遊びだろ。なあ小笠か、こっちは人類の英知も及ばない神秘をこの目にできるかもしれないんだぜ。
ようちゃんは私が先につばつけたんだよ。アスカ君は一人で UFO を追いかけてたらいいじゃない。
うちのオカケンは常に有能な人材を探してるんでね。
オカケン。
そのオカケンって物質もないしテンクルよりも弱小のくせに。
俺がいる場所、そこがオカケンなのさ。
要するに部員はアスカ君しかいないってことじゃない。
Without having a clue as to what's going on, I silently listen along with Kosame, who's packing at her sandwich. What have those two been talking about?
部活勧誘の話ですよ。ようちゃん、私たちのテンクルに入るよね。
いや、俺のオカケンだよな。
So that's what it was. I see now. I've only just transferred and haven't joined the club yet. They're targeting my enrollment. So that's why they asked me out to lunch. I know the Okaken is an occult research group, but what about the Tenkuru?
天体観測愛好サークル。略してテンクルだよ。
In other words, the Astronomy Club.
部員が少なくて部活として認知されない弱小サークルってことな。
もっと弱小のオカケンに言われたくないよ。小笠坂さんはどこか入りたい部活はもう決めているんですか？
First of all, are club activities compulsory? I haven't decided whether or not to attend club activities. I have to find a part-time job after school. Actually, I'll have to confirm if it's allowed later. Besides, I have other plans after school. I have to do whatever I can in order to recall her name.
部活の所属は必ずというわけじゃないですけど、ほとんどの生徒は入っていますよ。
この町田舎だろ。帰宅部になったって遊ぶ場所なんかねえから、暇するよりは部活するんだよ。
塾に通うために帰宅部になる人もいるけど、それも少数派なんだよね。ひばり校は進学校というわけじゃありませんからね。
だから小笠か、俺と一緒に UFO シグナルを受信して宇宙人とコンタクトを図ろうぜ。
そんな危ない人になっちゃダメだよ、ようちゃん。
テンクルなんか入ったら日がなトランプ三昧になるのがオチだ。 こっちの方がずーっと健康的だぜ。
Well, playing cards with a pretty girl doesn't sound too bad.
オカルトに比べたらトランプの方がずっと健康的だよ。私には50歩100歩に聞こえますよ。スクリーンに天体図映して眺めるの飽きたって言ってトランプ持ってきたの小雨ちゃんなのに。今度は花札にしますか？それこそ50歩100歩だよ。
More importantly, shouldn't they be worrying about their now cold lunches? As I don't intend to join a club, I ponder the ways to reject them as I dig into my meal.
お願いようちゃん。テンクル入ってくれたら正真正銘の部活として発足する野望に一歩近づくんだよ。
俺のおかげにそんな姑息な意図はねえぞ。ただ純粋に宇宙人と人差し指を突き合わせて自転車で空を飛ぶために活動するんだからな。
だから危ない人だよそれ。
俺が見たところ小笠原はアブダクションされトランスミッションを埋め込まれた過去を持っている。すでにオカ研に入ることを運命づけられているのさ。
そんなバカな運命あるわけないよ。だってようちゃんはテンクルにぴったりな転入生だもん。
Nah, I'm sorry, but
ようちゃんはうちの店に来た時に言ったもん。
their loud voices caused the heads of some students to turn around from their conversations.
ようちゃんはヘルメスの盾事がこと座の神話だって分かってくれたもん。
Asuho's voice travels across the lively cafeteria. It's like those words have penetrated my heart too. What sort of activities does the Tenkuru do exactly? I start getting a bit curious. I want to try and observe the stars just once. Originally didn't really like the stars. I got to know the stars in detail for her. I simply picked up information from star maps I've read. In other words, I've never used a telescope before. Asuho's surprised expression turns into one of joy.
テンクルはね、望遠鏡で夜空の星を眺めるんだよ。それで写真を撮るんだよ。
Anything else?
それだけだよ。それだけでもすごいんだよ。星ってね、すっごいんだから。
I don't know how to react, but Asuho starts explaining how awesome it is to look at the stars using hand and body gestures. Her desperation is kind of cute.
なんだよ小笠原、俺を裏切るのか。
No, I never intended to join the Okaken in the first place.
俺と一緒にヘブンズドアを開く儀式で宇宙意志とチャネリングとシャレ込もうぜ。
Because you're a dangerous person.
ひでえ。
ではテンクルに入っていただけるんですか？小雨ちゃんも部員なんだよ。ようちゃんが入ってくれたらこれで5人
Can I get back to you later? Asuho and Cosima blink in puzzlement. I have to look for a job after school, and I'm also a little busy.
目。前も言ってたよね。貧血だって。
Yeah, is the school alright with us working?
先生に理由を話して許可をもらえば平気ですよ。麻生さんもそうしていますし。私のは家事手伝い扱いだけどね。
なんでまたバイトなんかするんだ？
I have my reasons.
カメラ買いたいんならデジタルカメラはやめとけ。 UFO や心霊写真を撮るならやっぱりフィルム式をおすすめするぜ。
そんなのより断然望遠鏡の方がいいよ。値段が高いと思ったら天体観測用の双眼鏡も安くておすすめだよ。
I'm not working because I want to buy something.
テンクルはバイトしながらでも活動できるよ。だって天体観測は夜になってからが本番だからね。アスホさん、これ以上は小笠原さんを困らせるだけだと思いますよ。
Cosima faces me with a smile.
小笠原さん、もしバイトの時間に余裕があったら一度テンクルの見学に来てくださいね。いつでも待ってるよ、ようちゃん。
I give a wry smile to indicate my consent. We finally finish our lunches after that. Mine didn't taste bad, even though it was cold. After class, I shove my textbook into my school bag and stand up from my seat.
ようちゃん、これからバイトの許可もらいに行くの？
That's the plan. Which teacher should I speak to?
担任の先生で大丈夫だよ。教務室の場所わかる？
I've been there many times already.
そっか。バイトどんなの探すの？
I haven't decided at all yet.
よかったらうちの喫茶店でやらない？スタッフがお父さんと私だけだから忙しくてさ、メイド喫茶じゃないから男性スタッフも募集中だよ。
If you put it that way, I'll consider it.
テンクルの見学と一緒に待ってるね。
With arms gently swaying, she heads for the corridor.
ちなみにおかけんも男性スタッフ募集中だぜ。
Well, do you pay? Wages are on the Earth's currency, so give up already. My part-time job got approved without any drama. Because the teacher knew about my family circumstances, he approved it on the spot as soon as I mentioned their for-living expenses. Anyway, I'm grateful. He gave me his support towards the end, but it felt a little uncomfortable. I didn't really think that I was unfortunate. I walk up the stairs and arrive at the third-year classrooms on the 3rd floor. What's he doing here? He is a 2nd year. Let's find out next time on Hoshizora no Memoria. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye bye.